much longer is this going to go on?
Well, that all depends on Mr. Stell, I guess. He's the one that's got the power.
Well, it seems to me that you've got some of the power, too.
Well, by this I mean all he's got to do is just meet my demands, and I've already told him, I've already talked to the people here, that all he's got to do is just meet my demands, and when I leave here, with my companions, of course, which are 2, because there's 4 other inmates, but they have nothing to do with the escape.
Then what you hope to gain in the long run by all this is just to get your freedom? Is that it, or is it more than that? Do you hope to become some kind of a hero or something? Or
No. What do you mean by becoming a hero?
Well, obviously you're in the papers all over the country, and on
Does that make me a hero?
Well, it makes you a
Have you ever
public
been locked
figure.
up yourself?
Pardon me?
Have you ever been locked up yourself?
No, I never have.
No wonder you're talking like that.
No, but I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to find out what what you hope to gain by all this. Is it simply your freedom? Is that it?
That's right.
Would you like to go to some part of the world where you're not known? Is that what you want to do? Or?
I just plan to go to another place, that's all. But the thing is that I'm trying to get across is that if the demands are met, the people will not be harmed. I will only take 4 persons with me, and they will be on a voluntary basis. And they will come home safely. There's no 2 ways about that. The only stalemate right now is that the administration is not coming through, and that's it.
Okay. I understand you talked about maybe wanting to go to Cuba.
Well, I wouldn't mind that.
Do you think you could get along well?
I believe so.
What other countries are you thinking about?
Well, I've considered Cuba, really.
Any place, like South America, anything like that? Or?
Well, actually, I wouldn't even. I haven't even thought about it because I take one thing at a time.
But you definitely don't want to stay in the United States?
No. I want out.
How long can you keep this up? I mean, how many days, weeks? What?
That all depends.
Just
on
depends
a lot of things. I mean, it's hard to say.
Who? I've been interested in to know, and what kind of people do you look up to? Who are your heroes? Who are your people that you admire? People in public life or even in private life that you respect and admire.
Emiliano Zapata, mi general. Francisco Villa.
That's Pancho Villa?
Don Francisco Villa. Those are my heroes. And Lucio Cabañas. Lucio Cabañas.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that one. Who is this?
He's fighting the government in Mexico right now.
Do you have strong political beliefs of any kind? Do you lean to any side of the political spectrum? I mean, do you know what I'm talking about, to the left or the right or the?
Not really.
So this isn't a political thing at all?
No.
This is just a bid for freedom?
That's right. But you asked me who were my heroes or who I looked up to, and I just told you. I mean, these are people that they deserve respect. this is not a political thing, and although there's a lot of people that I believe are under the impression that this would be for prison reform, I would have to say that it is not. Now, if I know that there's a lot of people that want prison reform, and I don't want to have anything to do with them so that they don't get, what would you call it? I don't want to jeopardize what they've got worked so far. I mean, I have nothing to do with that prison reform.
Assuming that you could get to another country where you, so to speak, start all over again, is that what you wanted to do?
Yes, right.
Start a new life.
Right.
What would you like to go back to school or go to work or what?
Well, I would probably try and get a ranch. That's what I really like.
Well, wouldn't you have to have a lot of money to do this?
Not necessarily.
Unless you went to a newly developing country or something like this.
Well, you're on the right track.
I see. So then you wouldn't necessarily want to. I mean, you wouldn't want to go back to school. Are you ruling that out, or would you like to become better educated, or do you consider yourself well educated?
No, I'm not well educated, not by a long shot.
But you're obviously very astute. You're smart. I mean, you've got a lot upstairs apparently.
Well, thank you.
Well, I'm not trying to compliment you, but I mean I'm just stating an objective. You know, it looks to me like that's an objective fact. But I mean, would you like to do something more with your life? Would you like to do something to help mankind?
I would.
What kind of thing would you like to do?
Wait just a minute. No, excuse me for keeping you waiting.
That's okay.
But I was just advised that there was some good news over the radio.
What sort of good news?
Well, that the governor gave a speech saying that he backs Mr. Estelle, and I believe that we might start negotiating.
Would you like to start talking with Mr. Estelle again?
How's that?
Would you like to start talking with him?
Later on. First I want to have these people talk to their families because they are uptight. I mean, their families. And, I don't completely put them at ease, but it does help them if they talk to their loved ones.
I see.
So I do want to do this. But going back to what would I like to do for mankind, well, it's hard to say because at my age, it would be hard to
you're very young,
become a doctor or something like that. That would take, I should have done that when I was 16 years old.
Is that what you'd like to have done?
Yes. But...
were you living in Mexico when you were 16?
No.
You were in the United States?
That's right.
Would you?
And I committed a crime at that age, which I believe that if the judge would have given me that chance I asked him for, to let me go into the service instead of sending me to the school for boys, I believe I'd have had another outlook at life. But then one thing led to another, and since 16 years old, I've been from one thing into another. And I was living a peaceful life and a constructive life while I was in Mexico. But then the federal government... How's that?
Okay, what were you doing in Mexico? I mean, can you describe how your life went?
Yes,
how many years was this?
I was there since '69. I had a ranch, and I was a cattle raiser, a breeder, and I was minding my own business. I really was. But then,
were you doing anything for the people at that time?
The people in that particular area, in that particular village, yes.
What sort of things were you?
Well, I opened several places for them, for recreation, for like picnics, things like this. And I gave them jobs, and I was paying them what would be considered a good wage. I was treating them like people.
And so this is more or less how life went along until what, last year, 1973?
No, until 72. Yes.
Okay. And then what happened? There was an abrupt change there of some sort.
Yes. I went to sign a contract to have 2 tractors. I moved from the state of Jalisco to the state of Querétaro. But when I got there, I was surprised, or caught by surprise. My brother and I, my eldest brother, and we were caught by surprise, or put in a trap by federal agents, a Mexican federal agent.
Right.
And then it turned out that my administrator had been caught with a quantity of heroin.
Your administrator?
Yes.
On your ranch, you mean?
Right. And
did you know about him having heroin, or was that something that he had?
Well, that was his business. He's dead now. Well, anyway, we got arrested, and they tortured me for 72 hours, and then they killed my brother.
They executed him, or what?
They just beat him to death, tortured him with cattle prod. They used the cattle prod on me also. Just like when you read about the Gestapo. Well, we got the Mexican Gestapo in Mexico, and they finally sent me to prison there in Guadalajara, and I escaped. I came back to San Antonio.
How did you escape from this prison?
Well, through a bribery.
A guard?
No, the director.
I see. And so then
just like here, for instance, the person that facilitated everything for me, it was a prison official.
Okay, I have a message here that Miss Woodman is to place a call for Mr. Cuevas to talk to his wife. She knows about how to do this?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to continue talking with you about this, but can we relay that message so she could call on the other phone?
Yes, wait just a minute.
Okay.
He just told me that if there is such a person calling for him, that he don't want to talk to nobody.
Okay, let me tell that to him.
He says he doesn't have
no such person. Okay, then we were talking about after you'd gotten out of the prison, and then you made your way back to San Antonio after getting out of the prison in Guadalajara.
Yes, when I finally got to San Antonio, and there were things started looking up, and then it had a downfall again, and I got bum wrapped on a murder charge that was done by two police officers, and eventually they set up a trap for me through informers and through the reward they had put on me.
Now, what did you do when you got back to San Antonio?
I was just being undercover. That's all. I wasn't doing nothing. I mean, nothing constructive or nothing. I just wasn't doing that darn thing, you know. But
were you constantly having to hide? I mean, were they on your trying to get you at all times? Or
no, not really. When things got kind of hard is when they put that reward on me, because two of them detectives were really pushing it because it was convenient to them to get me out of the way, to put the pressure on me. But of course they were no bail when they went before the grand jury. And then when an honest detective tried to tell the truth, the whole police department in San Antonio, mostly the whole department, turned against him.
So then it finally came down to an ambush at a motel in San Antonio.
Right.
Were you caught totally by surprise here?
Yes.
Did you have any reason to believe that they would try anything like this?
Well, I knew for a fact that they would lay an ambush for me, but I wasn't expecting it that night. No matter how clever you think you are, you sometimes slip. But actually, all of this is water under the bridge. Thing is that I only hope that this thing can be straightened out, and one way or the other, because I hate to see people suffer. I've been called a lot of things, but believe me that I am human, and I hate to see a person suffer, because for myself, I'd rather have a bullet in the head that somebody would give me instead of torturing or things like that.
I understand that you had said earlier that you treated the women like your mother or your sister, and you very much respected Father O'Brien.
True.
The priest. Are you a religious person? Do you pray a lot?
No, I'm an atheist.
But then, if you're an atheist, why do you? Is it just out of a sense of moral conviction that you respect Father O'Brien?
Because I respect him because he's the first human being, or the first person that treated me like a human being in a year's time. I'm talking aside of my relatives. Of course, my three lawyers. But when I got to the diagnostic centers, Father O'Brien went there and talked to me, and he was real polite, and we got to understand each other, and I respect him as a man, and I told him that I was an atheist. And he said, this had nothing to do with our persons, he said, because I respect you as a man, and I hope that later on you will do the same, or have the same respect for me, which I do have for the old man. He's good people.
Have you always been an atheist, or were you brought up as a Catholic?
I was brought up as a Catholic.
Uh-huh. What time in your life did you come to believe that there wasn't any God?
I'd say about when I was about 20, more or less.
This was already after you'd served some time, and
yes. Because
what was it that convinced you to this belief?
I mean, I gotta tell you, I have the heart to kill a person, but I don't have the heart to see a person suffer. And if there is a God, I mean, I'd rather not talk about religion. I mean, I might offend other people's feelings. I mean, I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay.
Everyone's got his own opinion.
Okay. Are you still interested in seeing your wife? I mean, I understand they've been trying to get hold of her all through this thing, but haven't been
Yes,
able to find
they've
her.
been trying to get a hold of her so that they can use her as a shield, just like they used her when they had me in Corpus. That's what they're trying to do.
So actually, you don't want them to get hold of her, is that?
Well, I mean, I won't talk to her.
You won't talk to her?
No.
Okay.
Because even if they bring my mother and she knelt down and told me to throw down my gun, I would not do it. And my wife beside her and my children, I still wouldn't do it. I'll fight till the death. Not only myself, but the three of us. We have already given ourselves el brazo, which we don't care whether we die or we live.
If your plans work out and you do go to another country, are the three of you going to stick together, or are you going to split up and go separate ways?
I believe we are going separate ways. Each one live his life.
Did you all know each other before
No.
Huntsville?
No.
Came to know each other in the prison.
That's right.
And you don't really will you keep in contact with one another once this is over?
Well, that would be hard to say because we're not even out yet.
Yeah. I mean, would you like to though?
Well, I'll tell you the truth that I will if we manage to go out, it will be my heartfelt desires to see him, but it will be an impossibility. So therefore, and again, if we are thinking about the future, we might be in a cell again together. I don't know. Who's to know? Or we might be in hell together, or in heaven, or here. I don't know. A lot of people say there's a hell. A lot of people say there's not. I mean, I don't know. But I'm telling you one thing, that at the rate things are going, I do hope that we can get this business straight by today.
And by the time the day is over?
Right.
So, in other words, you do think it'll be over today? I mean, you hope it will. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I hope we can reach an agreement, a sensible agreement, because there's no point in causing all this life for nothing gained. But if need be, I mean, we will do it, but I am trying to hold tempers down and try to understand, although sometimes I even lose mine myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mr. Carrasco, there's a lady here from Channel 8 in Dallas, WFAA television, who would like to talk with women hostages, or
Yes.
with you or whoever you want to?
Well,
Is that all right with you?
I'd rather have the hostages because
Okay.
them people, they want to express themselves, and for one, at least their families know that they are all right.
Okay.
Because I know that the people outside are worried about them.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put her on then, and you can put on one of the women then.
All right.
And thank you very much for your time.
Okay, take it easy.
Okay. You too.
All right.
Mr. Davis? Mr. Davis? Will you come here, please? I don't know who this is. This is another newspaper or...
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Maury Dial with WFAA in Dallas.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's this?
Federico Carrasco.
Hello, Mr. Carrasco. How are you?
Well,
¿Cómo está?
bien, gracias, señorita. ¿Y usted?
Bien, gracias.
Qué bueno.
Are you sleeping enough?
Well, yes. I mean, we're doing all right under the circumstances. We'll, hold on.
Are you putting one of the ladies on?
Yes, she's right here, as a matter of fact. And,
Well, I've got you on the line. May I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
I talked to Jimmy Gillespie yesterday.
Yes,
How long has it been since you talked to him?
I believe I talked to him Wednesday or Thursday, I forgot, but I talked to him one time only. And I asked him for some favors to look out after my family, things like that if I had to die.
He tells me your daughters are both brilliant girls.
Thank you.
Well,
But believe me that...
he thinks highly of them.
Yes, I know. He's a real good man. And he really, like my son,
Do you miss your children, Fred?
of course. They're my whole life. But I'd rather die than to be separated from them.
What is your relationship with the people in the room? Are you all friends now?
Well, I'll tell you the truth that it's just like being out in the sea, in a raft. You all get to be tight.
Do they talk about their children?
They talk about a lot of things. Of course, I don't listen in on all the conversations, but I've showed them the pictures of my family, told me about some of their problems, and we're people. Although we're not considered people, I mean, but we are human beings, and we try to be as cordial as possible to the ladies, especially. Not that the males we don't respect, because we do. But as a matter of fact, they're holding up superbly, really. But here's Mrs. Davis. I hope you'll have a good conversation with her.
Thank you, Fred. May I talk to you when I finish talking with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Mrs. Davis.
Hello.
My name is Maury Dial. I'm with the Dallas television station.
I see.
How are you?
Well, we're doing fine under the circumstances. It's kind of unusual, I think, that all of us have been able... Well, we've all drawn strength from one another. Let's say it that way.
You mean among the hostages?
Well, all of us, I think.
The inmates also?
I mean that the understanding was, when all of this started, that we all leave together or we all stay here together, you know, so that's the way it is. And there's never been any question but that's what it is.
Are you getting all the things that you need? Is there anything?
Oh, definitely.